Hello to you all again. My name is James Shone. I am the founder of a charity called I Can and I Am. And last week I started a short series on the three principal qualities that young people really need to develop for what is really quite a challenging world in which they have to enter today. And last week I looked at the quality of resilience. This week I want to look at how important it is to have confidence in our own identity and not in our achievements. And like last week, I would like to break it down into three parts: what it is, why that is important, and how do we as parents, educators, how do we see that confidence developing? So what it is, well, it is what it says it is. It is being confident in who we are, not in all that we achieve. And I'm aware that some people achieve huge amounts of school, and that is valuable, of course. But actually, some people really may not achieve very much. But actually, I want to say that that is not the end of the world, and that as educators and as parents, we need to be developing their confidence in who they are. Why is it important to have this confidence? It is the reality that our achievements run dry. At school there's plenty of opportunity. You become a prefect, your main part in the play, your great exam results, colours for sports and all that sort of stuff. But quite quickly as life goes on, our achievements do not run, and it's harder to achieve things on a more regular basis. So that is the reality. We cannot become junkies to kind of just feed our sort of sense of self and ego with achievements, because they run dry. And by the time we get into our 30s, 40s, 50s, our achievements, we might go days, weeks, months without notable achievements. And so the final section really is the key section of how do we develop that sense of confidence, that sense of self-belief in an individual, that they're happy with who they are and they walk tall with a sense of who they are, despite what they have or haven't achieved. And I think the first point or two that I really want to sort of talk about is the importance for us as parents or teachers, tutors, to be noticing qualities. Noticing, acts of kindness, acts where somebody's caring or thoughtful, and we notice. And secondly, we applaud. We really kind of applaud that sense of, well done, I saw you do that, that was brilliant, I noticed that. And it's qualities rather than achievements. And I think in that sense, it's important that as parents, or again as educators, that we don't become sort of addicted, and we've got to be careful not to always be exalting achievements. That sense of, well done, you got a grade 5, that's brilliant. And children feel that the only way that they can please us as parents is if they've achieved something. And I think that's where we go back to the heart of it, that we notice and we applaud and we cheer on those qualities. And I think another thing that I get from my quote, which I'm sure you've heard me talk about before, that we notice everything and we correct occasionally. So that sort of occasional correction, I think, is important. I think overcorrection, exacerbation, frustration, irritation, ultimately corrodes any sense of meaningful relationship. And I think with young people, those relationships are really important. So we've got to be careful not to overcorrect. Let them make mistakes. Let them learn from their mistakes. I think as another thing that is important when it comes to developing that sense of confidence is that we do want to stretch them. That well-known term of put them into the stretch zone where they are outside their own comfort zone, but be careful not to put them in the snap zone. The snap zone is where it all goes wrong, and it can cause negative effects on their sense of self-belief. So put them in a stretch zone, again applauding them if they get through for doing something. You've cooked a meal, that's brilliant. You've mown the grass, that's superb, well done. So they're learning that they give, that they stretch, that they serve. I remember a few years ago, I used to love playing golf, and before losing my sight, and I still do love playing, but really I'm not very good. But I remember I was going through a season where I was playing really quite rotten, awful golf, and I was going out to play, and I remember my wife saying, giving me a real nugget of wisdom. She said, just remember this, that people won't remember the quality of golf. People remember what you were like to play with. And that's a real piece of wisdom on actually people will remember more about who we are than what we can achieve in our golfing prowess or our, our career prowess or our wealth or whatever. It's actually who we are that really makes a difference in this world. I think one thing to finish off on that I would say we've got to be aware of, and that is the social media culture. And social media, and often it's on social media that kind of achievement is really exalted. And I think that's where we as parents have got to be quite, disciplined with our children on making sure that there is a very prescribed sense of screen time, that they know when they can use them, and they certainly don't turn them up into their bedrooms, and at times they're taken away from them, because too much screen time, again, I think is really quite corrosive to their sense of identity. So a really quick recap is that we notice the qualities, we applaud qualities. We're not always about achievements, but we celebrate and we notice those qualities. That we correct occasionally, that we put them into a stretch zone, but being careful not to allow a snap zone. And like the golf round, people remember who we are, not necessarily our achievements or our prowess. And do watch out for social media because it causes problems in many respects. Thank you very much.